Welcome to Potawatomi Sportsbook Weekly. As always, this is your host, Austin Herdina. Welcome today by Eric Osterman, our digital gaming director, Billy Schmid from the Packers and Badgers Radio Network, and from Fox Sports Wisconsin, 9:20 a.m. Milwaukee.
Thanks, man.
How's your new show going?
It's going good. I'll tell you, though, 5 a.m. is early.
Yeah.
5 a.m. is very early, especially when you spend a little bit too long here on a weeknight.
Oh, you're fine. It's every night here is a good night, though, right?
That's true. And, I could just get my mail sent here.
And then also today we have Kyle Wiencek, our Sportsbook shift manager, joining us. Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited for this.
So we had AFC and NFC championships last weekend. Defensive battle, snowy game in Denver. Patriots got out of there with a 10-7 win. That was a game where I felt like Denver plus the points was the right move. I expected it to be a lot more higher scoring. I didn't know the weather was going to be coming like that. But, yeah, Denver, I feel like if they had Bo Nix, it might have been a different story. If the weather didn't happen, it might have been a different story. But the Patriots prevailed. They went in there and they got it done. Now they're going to be facing the Seattle Seahawks, who they welcomed the Rams in, and they took care of them. It was a great game. They had a good lead, and then the Rams came back and forth down the stretch. It was really entertaining, fun game to watch. You had both stories last weekend, right? We had the defensive battle in the first game, offensive battle in the second game. What are we going to get in the Super Bowl? What do you guys think? You think it's going to be higher scoring or lower scoring? 45.5 is the total. The Seahawks are favored by 4.5. Where's your mind at?
Well, I like having the ability to change my mind. And since we have so much time, I think we have a lot of flexibility on it. But I kind of think we're looking at a higher scoring game. I love the Patriots defense. They've given up 26 points on, I believe, 36 offensive drives in the playoffs this year, which is a wild statistic. But I think Seattle can move the football on anybody. The other part of it is, and Eric, I think this is the one that I'm most excited for. Mm-hmm. I think if anybody still can throw their team out of a game, everybody's picking Seattle. But the Sam Darnold pumpkin factor still could be coming up here.
Yeah, we've kind of been of the same mind about Sam Darnold having to prove it. And you know what? Kudos to him. He has so far in the playoffs. But I'm just waiting for that moment. I'm waiting for the 4-interception Sam Darnold. And if I may, I'm kind of on the other side of the total on this one. My reason being is we see it all the time with teams that don't necessarily have those that Super Bowl experience, right? These are franchises, obviously, that have been there a lot, but brand new players on both sides, brand new coaches on both sides. I think there might be a bit of jitters going on, especially in the beginning of the game. So I'm looking at maybe playing a first half under, something like that. And, both of these defenses, your point, have been playing great. So I'm kind of looking at the under. So, that's a nice little bet for us to start the show off.
You bring out some great points there. But I want to remind you that we have potentially the MVP winner, Drake May, at quarterback. Right? If he's not winning it, it's Stafford. It's one of the two.
Well, he proved he can run against the Broncos.
It's still amazing that, here we are a week away from the announcement of who wins the MVP, and we don't know who it is. I feel like every year we know who it is before that night.
Yeah.
I still feel like we don't know who it is.
They just let all the Hall of Fame stuff out so he could throw us off on the MVP.
We're going to talk about that right now because I can't go another minute. I can't go another minute with understanding why Bill Belichick is not in the Hall of Fame right now. How is this possible? The greatest, most successful coach on paper, you talk to the players, you talk to other coaches, they're all saying the same thing. Bill Belichick's one of the greatest coaches of all time. He didn't make the Hall of Fame in his first time on the ballot. What are we doing?
Well, you're trying to get people to agree on something, and about the toughest thing in today's world is getting anybody to agree, even if the sky is blue or not. Now, the other part is, and never allow...
Makes me sick.
Never let this cease to amaze you, Austin. The ability for media members and sports writers to do some gatekeeping. And there might be a little bit of gatekeeping, and...
you would never do that, would you?
We've seen it in baseball for years.
Always.
Oh,
every once in a while, but they love it. And and the Hall of Fame, it runs rampant.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the time for the writers to be the only ones voting on the Hall of Fame. Kyle, let me know if you think differently. But there was a time when those guys were the most plugged in, so they were the most qualified to vote for this. But now with social media and all the information that's out there, like, does it make sense for these guys to be the only ones voting for the Hall of Fame? I mean, it's so easy to hold a grudge, which is what I think you're seeing here.
Completely agree with you, Eric, on that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No disagreement.
It just grinds my gears.
Well,
Well, it does.
He should be in, but again, it was because somebody decided that like Ken Anderson desperately needed to be in the Hall of Fame. My man was a one-time MVP and led the league in passer rating like once or 4 times. Sorry,
Hell of a
you
year.
might just not be a Hall of Famer, but you can't say that anymore because then you're disrespecting him and his family.
I mean, he probably
But
made
he's
the
not.
Pro Bowl that year, just like Shadur Sanders is this year, right?
Yeah, for sure. And Tyler Huntley. I
What
mean,
are we
you got to put
doing?
some respect on those years.
Like, this is the greatest time of the year for the NFL. We got Super Bowl coming up, and we got the controversy of the greatest coach of all time is not a Hall of Famer for some reason. Shadur Sanders is a Pro Bowler for some reason.
Trevor
I saw
Lawrence.
Nixon.
Trevor Lawrence,
No
yeah.
offense to the Packers, I love the Packers, but Keyshawn Nixon, he didn't seem like a Pro Bowler to me this year, but he made it in.
But he will be an elite Pro Bowl games dodgeball player.
I
'Cause
agree.
You saw how
That's-
good he was at
yes.
dodging DeAndre Swift.
If he wants to, because I hear he doesn't like returning the ball very well. He doesn't like all
Likes-
that zigzag. So
likes
is he gonna
talking
like
mess.
Is he gonna like dodgeball zigzagging?
Well, again, I think he's good enough to be able to dodge the ball. Now
Right.
we'll see if he can actually catch it.
Imagine it with
Can he dodge a
with no
wrench?
pads, no helmet on.
Dodge a run, you can dodge a ball.
Good at
right.
dodging interview questions, too.
Ooh.
Oh,
Hot take.
Oh.
I'll tell you what. Maybe one year we'll have betting on the dodgeball here at Potawatomi, but I don't know. I think that's a little down the road.
Soon enough. Soon enough. We got to get those Royal Rumble odds first.
Oh, that'd be great, but I don't see it happening. Speaking of Royal Rumble, that's this Saturday. Going off track a little bit again, but we got a great event happening this Saturday. We are sold out already. Royal Rumble in our annex here. It's going to be awesome. I'm a big wrestling fan. Love it. Love that we're doing that here. We're hoping if it goes well, we're going to have future shows. We had SummerSlam here the last year. Now we're doing this one. Kevin Nash, former wrestler, is joining us. It's going to be fun. So going forward, hopefully we have more wrestling events like that.
Louis
But-
going to take a choke slam from Diesel?
I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
I want to see if he can
Saying.
jackknife me.
Pause.
Put me through
I think
the table.
I think it would be awesome.
I will let him put me through a table if he will do it.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
It's going to be so good. I can't wait.
If he can do it, I'll let him. You guys like this topics? You guys, want to hear us just rattle off more stuff like this? Please leave it in our comments and our videos. Let us know. Do you want us to stay on topic? Do you want us to go off a little bit? Do you have any sports betting related questions? Anything at all that you want to hear about? Next week we're going to get into more of the Super Bowl props. So we're going to talk about that. This week, though, let's just talk a little bit more about this game. We have some star players, right? Of course, we have the guy that's up there for the MVP and Drake May. We have the whole story with Darnold, being the number 3 pick to the Jets. He made it around a couple teams already. If you're a Jets fan and Darnold beats the Patriots in the Super Bowl, are you kind of saying that draft pick was worth it?
Wow.
Can I throw something out there first? Why are you a Jets fan? Right?
Oh.
Let me just put that out there.
Torture. You like torturing
why would
yourself.
I do that to
Yeah,
yourself?
why are you still a Jets fan? No, I get what you're saying, but those kind of things they happen all the time. You swing and miss on a draft pick, or
Yeah.
you see a guy has to go to the right situation to succeed. I throw a lot of shade at Sam Darnold on this show, but he's now done it for 2 teams, right? He's had multiple seasons where he's gone over 4,000 yards passing. So, I think we knew the talent was there when he was at SC, and it was just getting him into a position where he could succeed. And the Jets are not in a place from a franchise standpoint to where they can do that. You don't see anybody succeed there right now. Sorry to say, but
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to get to. I think that's why they cleaned house. You got to give these guys a situation where they can actually flourish, right?
Eric, you knocked it out of the park. You show me somebody that succeeds as the Jets quarterback, and I'll show you Mark Sanchez. Maybe.
Yeah.
He went to 2 AFC title games, and he wasn't exactly great. But that's just what it is. When you're in that situation, you're in that franchise, it's going to be tough to be able to succeed. I think the other fascinating part for Darnold is, in a quarterback class that featured a number 1 overall pick in Baker, who I don't know a whole lot of people thought was going to go number 1 that year. At one point this year, people thought he was going to win the MVP. It has 2 former MVP winners in Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in it. It has a real estate agent and Josh Rosen in it.
Yep.
And now it also has a Super Bowl participant in Sam Darnold. I don't think anybody was expecting him to be the first one out of that group to make it to the day.
100%. And I also read this week that USC has had the most quarterbacks drafted in the NFL of any college. It's something like 26 or 28. This is the first one to ever make it to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Isn't that
that's
incredible?
Yeah.
First USC quarterback to ever make it to the Super Bowl.
You just think of the great ones in the last 25 years. Palmer and Leinart was good in college, not great in the pros.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a great stat.
Alexa will let you know that, too. She'll let you know that Leinart's not that great in the pros. Did you see that video?
Did not.
No.
You guys don't, you don't know what I'm talking
I'm going to have
about?
to look this up.
Did he get buried by Siri?
So it was either Matt Leinart or his daughter. They were in the kitchen of his house, and they asked Alexa to, about Matt Leinart. Like, what do they know about Matt Leinart? It's like going on about this great college career, and then it ends with Alexa saying, but he didn't do so great in the pros, or something along those lines.
Oh, God.
And he laughed about it, and he posted it on his social media feed, and it got hundreds of thousands of views, and it was funny.
I think Matt Leinart might have had the most fun in college. Like,
Oh,
if you
my
think
gosh.
of being the quarterback of those USC teams,
Yeah.
that must have been a good one.
Big man on campus.
Last thing on the Darnold piece, it's one of my favorite, small little investments to be able to throw in this massive packet, which does not include my favorite bet. I'll get to that in a second. Why not Christian Gonzalez at 150-1 to win MVP? Like, if you think Sam Darnold can throw 3 picks,
Yeah.
and the best corner in football potentially could get 2 of them because he'll be D'ing up Jackson Smith and Jigba most of the game. Like, you look for some of those lottery ticket guys. I don't think a whole lot of people expected. I think it was Malcolm Smith to win it when the Seahawks won against the Broncos. In a game where, sure, the quarterbacks are always going to be the top ones. The wide receiver who just had 100-plus yards in the championship game is one. You start looking down this list further and further, you can find some fun value.
Yeah, when it comes to the NFL, for the regular season, you see a quarterback win the MVP almost every time now. But for the MVP of the Super Bowl, you do see some other position players win. Guys that just make that one big moment in the game, whether it's a pick six or maybe a receiver. It doesn't just because the quarterback has a great game doesn't mean the receiver is not going to win the MVP.
Rashid Shaheed 25-1.
Yeah, he's a return man too.
Rashid Shaheed.
Return.
Yeah.
I love him. I love his over 1.5 receptions. I love his anytime touchdown. This guy's roles only increased with Seattle since he came over from the trade deadline. He's a big play threat. Everyone loves the big plays too, and those are flashy. And I think a lot of attention is going to be on JSN and Cooper Kupp for that offense, where I love Rashid Shaheed as MVP in overall his props.
Yeah,
Did
and
Cooper Kupp win MVP in one of
did.
these? Yeah.
He won it for the Rams when
Yeah.
they won. And it was because he ended up having 4 or 5 catches on the final drive. At that point, he wasn't the guy that you were expecting it or thinking. And Shaheed, too, all the different plays, 15.5 is the number for his longest reception on the game. So there's a lot of fun that you can be having for guys like that. But the number one play on the board, at 33-1, an offensive lineman to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
oh my gosh.
Wow.
You kidding me?
The
You
old
really
report,
think so?
the old
You don't-
report is eligible.
With the amount of 3 tight end tackle eligible guys that we have seen in the NFL this year, I gotta be sprinkled on that, and there will just be a quick little taster on that for me on the Super Bowl.
Dude, the fun thing about the Super Bowl is you can make so many of these small $5, $10, $20 bets on props like this. You just come through on a couple of them, like you're making money.
You're gonna make your whole night.
How about
Yeah.
the over 2.5 players to attempt a pass?
That
That's
is always an interesting
I
one because,
love that one.
will there be a fake punt? The punter could throw one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Could there be like a Philly special? Could there be, maybe a halfback toss and pass? Like,
Right.
there's so many different options for that. It could even be the way it's worded. I got to look and see how it's worded. Is it quarterbacks or just players? Because it could be a backup come in, right?
Yeah, I think it's just players.
So it could be one of the quarterbacks gets hurt
We'll
for a
double-check
play.
that, though.
That's all it really takes.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings cashed it a couple of years ago when they were in Las Vegas, the 49ers and Chiefs. He ended up throwing a touchdown pass.
He's a good college quarterback.
Really good one. So I think that's a fun one too. And again, it's just have a little something too, because when it hits, then you get to run around and show everybody the ticket, and you look like an absolute swamp.
Yeah. It's like I predicted this, guys. I had this. I knew it was going to happen.
Why don't you guys just listen to me? This is so easy.
Yeah, I only put 5 on it, but I knew it. I knew it.
I think Austin made a really good point there too about checking what the rules say.
Yeah.
There are so many props. If you're going to make a bet, make sure that you know what you're betting on. Make sure that you know what the rules are. Come see the staff here if you're confused about anything, and they'll make sure that you understand, because there's nothing worse than going up to the window thinking you have a winning ticket and actually, something happened that you weren't aware of, and you don't get to cash it out. So. That's important, especially with all these Super Bowl props. There's so many. Just make sure you know what you're betting on.
Eric, that's a perfect segue. It brings me to our second edition of At the Window.
Come on now.
So, UFC and boxing, right? We're getting a lot of talk of that because we had great UFC pay-per-view this last week. We have another one this Saturday. Great boxing fights as well this Saturday. Something that we get a lot of people that come up to the counter and thinking that they want to bet is when they're betting on a boxer or a fighter to win in round 1 or win in round 2, etc. That the way it's worded is it includes the fight must end. Okay, the fight has to end. Like, we're not giving 20 to 1, 30 to 1 odds just to win that round on the scorecard. You have to end the fight there. So those bets, I just want to be clear, those bets are for the fight to end in that round with that person winning. Also, like over and unders on rounds. If you bet over 2.5 rounds on a UFC fight, you only have to get to the 2.5 minute mark of that third round. Once you get over that mark, you won. You don't have to finish the third round.
So I don't have to sit but I have to wait for the round to end to go cash my ticket.
Yep.
But once it hits the 2:30 mark, I'm clear.
Yeah, once it hits the halfway point of that round. So yeah, if you bet over 2.5 and you're now in the third round and it's 2.5 minutes into the 5-minute round, anything from there on, you won. You already won.
See, I like that. I like rounding up.
Yeah, you don't have to finish the third round for over 2.5 to cash.
You can tell some important people that 2.5 minutes is just like 5.
Speaking of UFC and boxing, though, we have great seats available still if you want to come in and reserve. Great tables available for UFC. Usually we charge a certain amount, right, for the table for UFC. You're getting the boxing pay-per-view for free, pretty much, right? We're not charging any more this week. So you're getting Teofimo Lopez with Shakur Stevenson, that great fight card as well. Also, the Yingling tailgate party is going to be in the Annex this year. We have reservations available for that right now. That's going to be including some drinks. It's going to be including all you can eat during the event. There's going to be some giveaways. It's going to be awesome. So if you're looking at watching the Super Bowl in our space here, come to the Annex. Go join that party. You can get reservations right now at Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. And it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for the Super Bowl this year. I'm excited to just welcome people in. If you have any questions, you have anything at all, come to the Sportsbook counter. Come find me. Come find Kyle. Hey, even if this guy's around, you want to ask him. He doesn't know a ton, okay?
No.
But he's learning. He's trying.
I don't have a name tag either, but I'll act like I'm important enough. The one part about the Annex that you mentioned, one of the reasons why I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, I would be in that spot because I'm closest to different kiosks for the live betting deal. Once you're into the big game and these I think there's an extra commercial break or a commercial spot, so these breaks end up going from 2:30 on the clock to 3:10 during the game. There's a lot more time for the live betting, as well as you talk about full Super Bowl experience. Handling halftime is important for not only the teams, but for the viewers.
That's right.
So being this close to the sportsbook and that being close to the food, halftime you can really take advantage. You don't even have to watch Bad Bunny. You can just go out, enjoy all of the food and drinks, and then roll right back to your seat.
You got a bathroom right around the corner, too. If you're drinking a lot, you're going to the bathroom a few times.
Now we're talking.
I mean, it's just, it's important.
Once you break that seal, it's game over. You're going to have to be in there.
Is Giannis getting traded in the next couple of weeks? What do you got? You got any opinions?
I believe so.
I mean,
it just feels like the writing's on the wall.
I agree. I hate it. This is the first time we've been talking about this for a while, but I feel like every time we talked about it, I did not think Giannis was going to be traded. I thought we'd find a way. We'd work things out. If he's not traded now, he's getting traded this summer before the next season. I'm I don't know. I hate it, but it's what it is.
I think if you're the Bucks and you kind of see how this is going, I think you have to try to trade him now, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get the maximum return for get him to go to a team that's going to try to make a late playoff push. Seen a lot about the Warriors perhaps being in. I think it would be a mistake for the Bucks to wait until the offseason. Because you're probably not going to get as big a return. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
Tough thing about in the offseason is teams can then get more picks. Like there's some teams that can access 2 or 3 more first-round picks, and you can kind of gouge them for it into the offseason.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to see them go to the Warriors because I think their package is horrible. There's different teams that you start to pinpoint of, I would like Jalen Johnson back into the state of Wisconsin if he goes to the Hawks. I could find myself enjoying some of the players that are in Houston if you're grabbing somebody. I know San Antonio said they're out, but I think he's definitely going to – it's evident he is not going to finish his career in Milwaukee. The part that I struggle with, and we've talked about on the morning show, is wants to have a cake and eat it too. And listen, we all have birthday parties. We all want that. We all want to have the celebration, but not be the bad guy. At some point, I think Giannis is going to have to be the bad guy and say he wants out if that's the case.
Yeah, and the East is so wide open, too. I feel like if you're someone that thinks you have a realistic chance in the East, why not make that move? Like, if you can bring Giannis in, he's still under contract for next year. He's eligible for the max extension next year. If you're a team out there that's got really, a lot of good young talent that you're willing to give it up for a guy like Giannis, this is the year. So
you're going to give something up.
Yeah, so I just hope we make the right move because I feel like every single move that we've made since we won the championship has been the wrong move. Whether it was right or not in the moment, it turned out bad. Whether it's been coaching changes, whether it's been, Drew Holiday trade, Dame we're trading for him and then we just cut him. We traded 5 second-round picks for Jay Crowder. And then the guy we didn't even play him much. We just gave up a lot to try to make things work, and they just haven't. So I just hope that whatever trade the Bucks make, that we're setting ourselves up for a nice rebuild.
And the interesting is there's one person that's kind of had his hand in some of that. I mean, listen, again, 34 is the one that we don't want to say anything bad about. There have potentially been a lot of different pieces of reporting that Giannis has his fingerprints on a lot of these moves. So it's interesting that he's going to kind of be off with kind of scot-free, none of the blame that other star players. This hangs with a guy like LeBron when different things like this happens. Instead, he's getting a very nice pass, and I'm happy about it. I want him to be welcomed and celebrated in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean,
but he's definitely getting out. It seems like kind of scot-free.
You're right, and he's been here now. What's it been, like 13 years? Yeah, he's given Milwaukee everything he's had. I feel like even if that's the case, like what you're talking about, like fine. Like he's given us a championship, one that I never thought we'd see in my lifetime. So yeah, I hope that he goes where he wants to go, and I hope that we have to get a good package back. Like business is business, right? Like he could be like, hey, I want to get traded to Miami. Well, that's fine, but if somebody else is offering us more, I just hope we take the best offer.
I'm with you.
Does that make sense?
I'm with you. Send him to Utah. I don't know. Listen, if that's the best package, then there you go. I apologize, and maybe Portland's beautiful this time of year.
But if you are heading to any of the Bucks games this year yet, if he does stay with us and you want to see him again, maybe his last time, you don't know, or see some of our young players, we do have our shuttles still. If you want to place a wager at our sportsbook or come to a restaurant and get an order, just come to the sportsbook, get a bracelet. Okay, that bracelet's going to get you on our shuttles. Leaves right from the annex, takes you right to the stadium and right back to us. Such a great thing that we've been doing. We continue to do it the rest of the season. We're going to be doing it for the Brewers as well when that season starts up. That's only like 2 months away.
Close enough.
It starts in March, the last week of March this year.
Pitchers and catchers report soon.
Oh, I can't wait.
2 weeks.
I'm excited. I just love seeing baseball every day. Just knowing that you can you have the anticipation. You just know that, hey, maybe I didn't have a great day at work. You know what? But I can go home, sit on that couch, and I got a Brewer game to watch. Mm-hmm. It's just great.
And a 4-leg hit parlay at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
That's right.
That's the other thing that I just cannot wait for when it comes to baseball.
I love parlaying baseball. I'll tell you what.
Cold beer, a broad baseball parlay.
Give me 2 afternoon games with a evening early start, and then throw in that late game. in over in LA or something.
Give yourself
like,
one reason to stay awake.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like the value you can get in baseball betting too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
even the best team in the league is going to lose 60 plus times a year, right? I mean, you can really get some nice underdogs coming through in baseball. That's my favorite part of it is, not only the parlays, but if I pick the right spot to bet against the Dodgers or the Yankees or whomever, you're getting some pretty good plus money there.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And this is something last year that people would come up to the Sportsbook counter and be like, hey, Austin, who do you like today? And sometimes I'd say the White Sox.
Yeah.
And I would get laughed at. And I would remind them that the worst team in the league still wins 50 or 60 games a year.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And at the prices they were getting, I mean, you were getting like plus 230, plus 250 sometimes on the money line for them. At home, even. Like, it's not, I'm sorry, but the AL Central is not really that strong, okay? It's fine, but, like, they can win some games, okay? Brewers last year, they won 98 games. Way more than what we expected them to win. This year, are they going to repeat that? Probably not. It's the most wins we ever had in a year. But still an exciting team. Still a team that we expect to make the playoffs. They are a favorite to make the playoffs. But right now, you can bet on how many wins they'll have, over or under. You can bet on whether they make the playoffs or not. You can bet on them to win the NL Central, the National League, the World Series. All those props are available right now. We also have player props available. So, how many home runs or who will hit the most home runs this year. A lot of fun stuff coming with baseball coming up.
Because I wanted to bet on Jackson Churio to win the MVP, but he also does play in the same league that Shohei Ohtani's in, so I decided to not bet that one.
Yeah, that is true. All right. Well, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Potawatomi Sportsbook Weekly. Whether you're riding with our picks or you plan to create your own, come do it at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Remember to keep it fun, bet responsibly, and we'll see you at the window.